It's spring 2023. We're here at our orchard. We spread some ash over here this morning just to bring the acidity down a little bit, and we trimmed down a lot of stuff that was competing with our trees here. Anything that either shaded them or competed with them. We left a few trees here just to have a little bit of leaf and some shade on the ground to help with the moisture. We still have a lot of mulch down on the ground, and when we dig in underneath this, it looks like the earth is really nice and dark. So we are building a little bit of soil down here to try to help stimulate the growth of these trees. But we're on, I think, the third year now of some of these trees, and they're just not doing that well. Can you look any sadder? Can you look any sadder on the camera over there?
Okay, I'll try.
No, don't try. I think at one time all of this land was scraped, all the topsoil, and so it's very nutrient deficient, and it seems really clayish. So we're trying to build the soil from the top by putting a lot of mulch down, and I'm hoping things will start growing better over time. So this apple tree here is a Minnesota 447, and we're going to do a little bit of trimming. On this one we have 3 competing heads up here, and this one here actually shows a little bit of damage right on that spot. We want to try to create one central lead on our fruit trees, so I'm going to get rid of this here middle branch altogether, and we're going to try to trim that back as tight as I can in here. So right under where the tree was damaged there. We got that off. This is going to be hopefully our main stem, in which case we're going to cut this one here back a little bit to try to help this one to compete better, and we'll cut it just above this bud here that's pointing outwards away from the tree. Say right there. And then looking down the tree, we have a branch at a good angle coming out this way. We've got another branch at a good angle coming out this way here. This one in the middle is on the same side as the tree and is sort of crowded. So I think we're going to cut this back completely. And then we're going to hope that these branches over here start to come out in these other directions. Let's move from tree to tree, and we're going to do a little bit of this and hope for the best. This here's the first tree we planted. It's a Loutz apple tree. It got badly damaged down here a couple years ago. The main trunk of it broke in the winter time. The tree stayed alive, and it continued to grow this here main trunk. But I don't think it's doing very well. All right, so we're gonna come in here where this damage is somehow without breaking that and cut this out. This tree here looks pretty sad for several years old. We just don't have much of a tree here at all. But I'm going to come down here and get rid of this branch as well. And now hopefully this year, this is going to take over as the main trunk of the tree, and it'll start getting branches from where these different buds are off of there. I haven't figured out yet how to really help these trees in the winter time to keep any damage from happening. It's not happening from wildlife, it's happening from the snow weight in the winter time. And I had these tomato stands around them, and I've tried also putting stakes down, but
yeah, those are definitely, that tomato stand is definitely taking control of all the snow. That tomato stand is gone.
What I was thinking with the tomato stand was that if the weight of the snow started pushing on the tree, that it might push it up against the sides here and keep it from breaking. Like, you know, that basically that this would be a support.
That tomato stand is helping it totally.
But yeah, obviously.
If a volcano or a nuclear bomb came down, that tomato stand will be the one to protect it. Like,
come on, you. Okay, this is the third apple tree we planted. I don't know what type it is any longer. I'd have to maybe look back and try to figure out what name this was. This took damage early on in its life down here. It seems to have healed better than the last one that we just trimmed. So where that's pretty sturdy, I'm going to leave that alone. And I mean, if I were to come down there, we've got next to no tree left. So it's got a funny bow in it, unfortunately, because of that. When we come up to here, we see a branch coming out at a reasonable angle there, which is okay. But these two seem to be competing for the leader. Do you want to zoom in here on this a little bit, Leo?
Yeah,
so
sure.
that people can see?
These two on the top.
So we've got these two competing. My understanding is that it's weak where there's a sharp angle. It's not what you want on an apple tree. You want branches that are coming out more at this type of an angle than at a really sharp angle. Now, I've really got to look this over though here at this joint and see which one seems to be the better branch. It almost looks like there's a little bit of damage out here, and that knot right on this limb here seems to actually be coming straighter off the trunk. So in actuality, I might get rid of this branch here and keep this as the leader.
Who's gonna
I think
win?
that's what we'll do. Let's cut into this.
All right.
Gone.
Ooh.
And now this is our main lead, and we have one branch there and one branch there, and otherwise
Yep. So
not a very good looking
yeah, it's the
tree.
end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe.
That's
and,
not the end of the video.
Also, comment.
All right, this here is a patent pear tree. This was also planted, I think, 3 summers ago. Took damage here on the top. It may have actually been cut back by an animal, I'm not sure, or else it broke. And since then, we've had 3 different branches come up competing for the lead. So we've got to do something with those. I'm going to leave this branch here that's coming outwards from the tree, and as well as this one. Those are fine. But right here at the head, if you could zoom in here, buddy, we have damage right there, and then we have a small branch coming off of that. So I think I'm going to cut that out completely. Okay. And then we have a competition between this branch and this branch here as the main lead. And looking at that, I would say we should keep this one here. And because, again, of the extreme angle to the trunk that this one here is coming out at, I think we're going to get rid of that completely. And we're going to hope that some new buds come out and maybe put out some branches off of our new main lead. This here's our Larenskaya pear tree. This has probably been doing the best out of all of our trees over here. Unfortunately though, this one too took damage last year with some snow load. It looks like it may have taken damage there, but now it's also taken some damage there last year. So this here is healed. This here we still have an issue with. Because I don't want to come all the way down here on this tree and just hack the whole thing down, and this break isn't really all that bad, I'm going to try to splint this right now. We've done this before on trees and with some success. So to do a splint on the tree, just come back here and we'll take a piece of this. Okay, and I can probably take a pretty thin diameter piece for this job. There. And then what I do to help support the tree is take a little bit of our marking tape. There's where the break is, so I'm just going to put this against the tree trunk like you would a splint for a broken arm, and we'll tie this on up above the break and below. And I'll just leave this for a few weeks to see if we can get this tree to heal. Now this tape here, the marking tape, as the tree grows, if it was left on there for a little bit too long, the tape itself stretches, so I don't think it would cause any injury to the tree by leaving it there. So there's the top part. And now below the injury, we'll come down here and tie it. There. Now, there's one other thing I want to try here in trying to heal a damaged tree, and that's to put sap from the balsam fir trees. And I'm hoping that if I smear some of that over the wound here, that it's going to seal it. So right here's a balsam fir tree, and can you see this bubble right here with the camera? Those are the little balls of sap that are inside the tree. If I poke that, you could start to see it come out. And we're just going to squeeze that out and gather it up. That big drop coming down the tree there now. So let's take that and we'll go put that on our tree over there.
Right.
It's really runny. We need something probably a little bit thicker that was like sitting on the tree for a while. But we'll put some of that around and see if that can seal the wound naturally. Looking at the head here of our pear tree, we've got one branch coming this way, which is nice, another one there, and another one there. So that's 3 branches all in different directions, which I think are doing great. Here though, we have a problem with the head of the tree. It's split into 2, and this one looks like it got damaged. We're going to choose this here as our central lead, and I'm going to come right back to that join and cut this one here off. There. That's all we're going to do to this one. We're going to hope that this heals down here this year, and we're going to hope that this leader keeps coming up. Hopefully that shows you a little bit about how you can prune your fruit trees. We're going to do an update, I guess, in the fall, and we'll see how these are all doing by then.
Make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah.